52 years of paper sealed by lickable glue. Have I ever tasted it yet? Best taste in the world. Like cherries and salt. I'm sorry, I can't keep you. There's just no place for you in this paperless world where postal service is pointless and trees are dying and nobody writes letters anymore anyway. So this is goodbye, old house. I can't let you live a day past the day they stop making paper. I can't let you live a day past the day the postal service shuts down, which means I can't let you live a day past today. Tomorrow morning, I'd see you through my kitchen window waiting anxiously in front of my house to start our route. I'd run to you. There'd be no stopping me, no copy necessary. I'd hop in on the right side, not the left, and begin our morning adventure. So here we are, where letters are dead. First, wait. I have something for you. This here is the last letter you will ever deliver. Conveniently, it's addressed to you, so you won't have to go too far. You don't run too well anymore anyway. Sorry. This is from me to you, old buddy. Tiny corpse. Dear Franklin, I never thought this day would come. I am so sorry this day has come. Sometimes I wish the Department of the Environment didn't exist. Sure, we'll all eventually die from a lack of oxygen. Can't breathe paper. Can't breathe paper. Why use paper? It's a waste of trees, they say. It's a waste of time, they say, to keep making paper. Making paper we don't value. For catalogs we throw away. Magazines read in a day. Thankless notes. Absentee votes. This. I will keep this letter forever. Because this is the last letter in the entire world. Hey, everyone, look at this. This is the last letter any mail truck will ever deliver. This is the last letter in the whole wide world. Paper is gone. Smoked out by nooks and crannies of Kindles for kiddies and Macs and maniacs and PCs, high-speed trees and email and Gmail. This mail in my hand is no mail, but this friend. In this afternoon light, I just see dust. And in that dust, the particles of Anne's ashes sometimes escape from the urn on my bookshelf. Flecks of finger skin cells, the finger that once held a wedding ring, that once had a fingerprint, that once held a pen, that 50 years ago wrote me 50 love letters a day, once the war plucked me straight from our breakfast table. Dear, dear Benjamin, it's Wednesday. In just 15 days you will be here. The days will feel endless, but the days with you will be longer. hope. For dinner, I ate 3 heaping ladlefuls of garlic mashed potatoes. I felt quite sick after. That good kind of sticky, smiley, satisfied sick. I swear I've gained 8 pounds since March. Will you still call me pretty when I'm heavy in your arms? Stay sweet for me. Anne. I told myself that no matter what, I'd become a postal worker when I came back from the war. So I could deliver words from one mouth to another mouth when miles apart outweigh minutes together. Because that's how I knew Anne was the one. When Anne left me too early, 20 years ago, I wrote letters to everyone I knew to tell them to write. To write letters to those you love. I cradled her letters in my front shirt pocket, next to my heart. Love. A word I hated, and hated, and hated. Until I met Anne. I thought that everyone was lying. About the weakness from your scalp to your toenails, the feeling that almost flung me to the linoleum floor when I held Anne's limp body in mine after she let out her last puff of air. She wasn't ready for this. Could I save her? Could love save her? I ran and grabbed all the letters we had written to one another, and my one hand Anne and the other her letters. I held them up to her lips, shoving words back into her mouth. Speak and breathe and speak! Every letter that Anne wrote to me and those from me to her, I set ablaze with her ashes. No longer any distance between her words and mine. Now, I have no more letters in my possession. Besides this letter. You know what, Franklin? I think I know why they decided to stop. Stop making paper. Because paper cuts hurt. And those little shits never stop bleeding. Yeah, I wish paper didn't exist in the first place. Then I wouldn't feel this throbbing in my head, this throbbing mishmash of all the words we ever wrote to one another in my head. I wouldn't be out of a job, a wife, and you, the one who smiled at me every morning, snow or shine, and forced me to just keep driving. I looked at the half-used ballpoint pens next to my telephone and must fight the urge to chop off my offensively opposable thumbs. My dear friend Franklin, I wish I never learned to write. Never learned the art of bleeding onto paper. Anne once wrote me just to describe the smile on the postman's face as he trudged through the snow to deliver my letters to her mailbox. Dear, dear Benjamin, she wrote, this man's smile is unspeakably warm, she wrote. He smiled because war is shit, and so is snow. He smiled because the letter is from me to her. He smiled because every ounce of his being wants to replace every gun in the world with a pen. One day, weeks later, the postman didn't come. There was a snowstorm. And waited at the kitchen door for him to come, but he did not. He didn't come for a whole week, and thought he might never come again. She blamed it all on him, but really, it was my fault. I didn't send one letter that week. I didn't know how to tell her that I was ready to take her hand in marriage. Everything I wrote sounded small, fake, half-baked. It took me a whole week to make that letter perfect. Perfect isn't even the right word. There is no word for those words. Don't hate the postman, I said. And please, don't hate me. Today, nobody waits weeks. We wait seconds, and our words are too abrupt, too digital, and they're too often used for hurt. When we don't think before we speak or wait before we listen, our thoughts just get muddled into a big pile of cold utterances on a winter's morning without anyone to remind you to take your scarf outside. And you shut the door, Franklin. It slams. A little too loud, Franklin, and you never meant to make that bang. A little too hard. And dust flies everywhere.
Too bad kids do the best they can.